How Nas Daily lost it all in one move. Imagine being regarded as one of the most successful innovators of your time, having the opportunity to tour the globe, serving as an inspiration to millions of people, and developing a worldwide brand, only to see everything fall apart with a single choice. Indeed, it is precisely what happened with Nas Daily. This video explores how a single action completely altered the course of events. The rise of Nas Daily. In order to comprehend his collapse, it is necessary to first comprehend his spectacular climb. It was when Nusir Yassin, a Palestinian who was born in Israel, made the decision to leave his high-paying technology job in New York in order to tour the globe that the narrative of Nas Daily started. In possession of nothing more than a camera and a goal, he set out to produce a single movie each and every day for a period of 1,000 days in a row. His videos were brief, had a rapid tempo, were loaded with stunning imagery, and were intended to motivate viewers. He spoke on various themes, including environmental concerns, cultural customs, inventive individuals, and lessons learned from life. Quickly, his one-of-a-kind style became popular. A very short period of time thereafter, Nas Daily had more than 20 million people follow you on Facebook and Instagram combined. Celebrities, business people, and government officials working together on projects. A credibility as a storyteller who is optimistic and has a global perspective. Even more than a creator, he was a brand in his own right. In addition, he extended his business by establishing Nas Studios, a production firm, and Nas Academy, a platform for learning how to create content. This is something that many successful businesses do. By the year 2020, Nusir had accomplished what the majority of artists can only dream of. He had amassed a dedicated fan, following, money, and influence. But that's where the problem started. The turning point, one controversial move. Within the month of August 2021, Nas Daily made the announcement that they will be working along with Wang Od Oge, a tattoo artist from the Philippines who is 104 years old and is regarded as a living legend. In the culture of the Philippines, Wang Od's artwork is held in very high esteem since he is the last and oldest Mambabatok, which is a traditional Kalinga tattoo artist. On his Nas Academy platform, Nas Daily advertised a course with the title, Learn the Ancient Art of Tattooing, stating that Wang Od herself had consented to conduct the course. Learn from the world's oldest living tattoo artist, only on Nas Academy, was the marketing headline that caught people's attention. At first, it seemed like a cultural treasure that was being shared with the world. However, Wang Od's family came out with a stunning claim. They claimed that Wang Od had never signed any agreement to teach such a course. In addition, they claimed that she was unaware of the terms to which she was committing, and that Nas Daily had exploited her name and picture without obtaining the appropriate approval. The news took the internet by storm on social media. In the Philippines, a nation that places a high value on respecting one's elders and protecting one's cultural history, this was seen as a serious breach of the law. 3. The opposition's reaction. The subsequent events resulted in a surge of criticism, with Filipino internet users accusing Nas Daily of abusing indigenous culture for financial gain. The criticism that he received for his lack of cultural awareness came from prominent Filipino producers and journalists. Investigations were initiated by government entities to determine whether or not the course breached laws protecting heritage. Additionally, the event rekindled prior critiques of Nas Daily, which said that his narrative technique frequently oversimplified complicated cultural problems, transforming them into brief, viral moments that lacked depth because of his storytelling style. Because of the overwhelming amount of criticism, Nas Academy temporarily ceased all of its activities in the Philippines. As a result of the loss of faith in his brand, a significant number of his Filipino fans stopped following him. 4. The reaction of Nas of Daily. Those allegations were refuted by Nusir. Despite his assertions that everything had been carried out in accordance with the law and ethical standards, He published a video in which he claimed to show Wang Ode's thumbprint on a contract. In his defense, he said that the mistake was the result of a misunderstanding in communication and that his purpose was to preserve and appreciate her creativity rather than benefit from it. On the other hand, perception is everything in this day and age of social media. Even if he had noble intentions, the public perception of the scenario was very negative since it included a rich foreign artist making a profit off of the legacy of an indigenous elder. 5. Why this one move was so costly. It's possible that a single scandal may be a stumbling block for the majority of authors. On the other hand, this was a catastrophe for Nas Daily, whose brand was founded completely on trust, vism, and respect for many cultures. To explain why. Mismatch between brands. His audience anticipated that he would demonstrate cultural sensitivity and the utmost respect. This dispute portrayed an image that was quite different. When working with indigenous people, it is not enough to just get legal authorization. Cultural sensitivity demands extensive engagement. Many people received the impression that he had hurried the procedure in order to make a profit. Reputation on a global scale. Nas Daily was not just a figure in the Philippines. He was also a figure in the world. However, when the trust of one nation is violated, the repercussions are felt all over the globe. Repercussions for the long term. Despite the fact that the incident was no longer in the news, its ramifications continued to materialize. There was a significant loss of audience trust since many Filipino fans never came back. Nas Academy's reputation suffered significantly, particularly in Southeast Asia, as a result of the business setbacks. Stains that persist on the brand. This subject is brought up and discussed whenever Nas Daily is addressed in internet areas that are accessible to Filipinos. The creator economy is based on the concept of trust as currency. In the event that you lose it, it is quite difficult to retrieve it. 7. Instructions for those who create content. Anyone who is developing a brand may learn valuable lessons from the event that occurred with Nas Daily. Respect for other cultures comes first. When narrating the narrative of another person, particularly if that person is a member of a marginalized or indigenous group, you need to take additional precautions to ensure that you have a thorough understanding of their customs, beliefs, and modes of communication. There is more to consent than just a signature. Although legal permission is essential, informed consent is also very crucial. Does the individual have a complete comprehension of what they are committing to? Guard the core values of your brand. Even a single perceived betrayal may overturn years of hard work if your brand is founded on the principles of optimism and respect. The importance of local partnerships. The prevention of misconceptions and the guarantee of authenticity may be achieved via collaboration with respected local voices. Prepare yourself for the scrutiny of the public. At this point in time, any action you do may be scrutinized, condemned, and disseminated throughout the whole world in a matter of minutes. 8. Would Nas Daily have been able to recover? There are others who believe that Nas Daily might have restored his image by really apologizing, taking open action, and making attempts to develop community within the community. Others are of the opinion that the incident brought to light more fundamental problems with his method of storytelling, including a propensity to stress virality above depth. It is indisputable that the brilliance of Nas's brand has diminished, despite the fact that he continues to produce material and manage Nas Academy. People will always remember him as the person who shared uplifting tales with them, but he will also be remembered as the one who had a disagreement with you. The cultural hero. The bigger picture, individuals who create and their responsibility to the culture. The topic at hand is not limited to Nas Daily. In the context of the creative economy, the event is reflective of a more widespread problem, the conflict that exists between narrative and cultural responsibility. It is now simpler than ever before to disseminate information from all around the globe thanks to the internet. Misrepresentation, oversimplification, and exploitation are all risks that come along with having such influence, particularly when there is a potential for financial gain involved. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content.